we'll be talking about, what time is it?
Yeah.
And more than anything, what we want to establish, is a culture of young people who will be able to be critical thinkers. So one of the first things that we are looking into is what time is it?
Mm.
You know, yes, it's 2019,
Mm.
it's the month of November.
Let me answer your question. The
Okay.
time is now 25 to 9.
25 to 9. Yeah, it better be in the morning, not at night. Okay. So basically, bro, yeah. So what time is it in terms of the context of what's happening around us
Yeah.
as young people? What's happening? Are we aware of the times? Are we aware? Because like you'll find, let's say, our parents saying, the times it's not the same.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what they'll
definitely,
say.
yeah.
The times are not the same. So
Mm.
what time are we in as young people? So yeah, when I was looking at the problem, I just realized that our mindsets as young people, more especially, I'll always reference just to young people. It can speak generally to everyone who is part of this century.
Yeah.
But more especially us as young people, our mindsets have been conditioned to prioritize what we want instead of what we need.
Mm.
So one of the major reasons of this is what is called sensuality.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of this in society. And when I looked at the definition of sensuality, I realized that it's something that gives pleasure to our physical senses rather than to our minds.
Yeah.
So it's research proven and scientifically proven that a young person would rather engage in content that appeals to their physical desires more than their intellect.
Yeah.
Or their mindset or their mind.
Mm.
So we also live in a society where
So I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah,
So just to drop in there. So you're basically saying that instead of me actually reading a book, I'll be more entertained by watching back to back a series on TV.
Yeah, bro, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, we can even ask ourselves, bro, why is it so hard to read two books concurrently? But if you were to watch soapies, man, you stay there. Well, I remember a series. There's a series called Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I remember I finished it in 2 days. Imagine a whole season.
And before I say this, I know
Yeah.
many people will go against me. I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Really?
Never in my life. I've never
bro.
watched Game of Thrones. I don't even know what it's about. Many people have tried to and convince me into watching Game of Thrones, but I'm like, I'm not into medieval movies and series.
Really.
But what you are saying is really true because I know it because I struggle with it a bit.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm not an avid reader.
Yeah.
But I do my fair share of reading, and I've been trying to increase my quota when it comes to reading. But I always struggle with myself because I find myself really I can sometimes even watch a movie, finish that movie, watch another one with no stress at all.
Yeah.
But when it comes to reading, it's something else. And the thing is that you'll find that movie I can watch it, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with watching movies and entertaining yourself.
Yeah.
But you'll find that the value that I can get from reading a book, and especially for me, the kind of books that I like to read, it's way over the value that I get by simply watching a movie for 2 hours. The movies that go on for 2 hours, and imagine now you watch them back to back, so it's like 4 hours of your life gone.
Bro, as you said, I love Utine. It's not that movies are wrong.
Yeah,
but here's the thing, right? You'll find that big corporates, and companies are exploiting us, by enticing our impulsive behaviors, right? So, as I said, it creates a mindset in us, to always go for the easy way out. So, you'll find that now, when I've got an option, here's the thing, it's a matter of choice.
Yeah.
If there's no book and there's a movie, great, watch a movie.
Yeah.
But now, what scientifically is proven is that if you've got a choice between a movie and a book, you'd rather opt for the movie because it's more. I think that's where
it's more satisfying.
It's more satisfying, And what I loved about what you were saying as well is that when you weigh up the hours at the end, you realize that 4 hours have gone, and reading would have given you so much
Small.
more.
I think, bro, just to step in on that, I think, one of the problems that we're struggling with, and I think it speaks exactly to what we're talking about, what time it is. It's the problem of instant gratification, and it's one of the cultures that is being embedded into us, and it's growing.
That's true.
It's growing rapidly, even with technology. It's helping to increase how we want things, and we don't want them tomorrow, we want them now. You look at even our applications on our phones, you look at internet shopping, you look at, and there are places like in the US whereby you are able to order something today in the morning, today in the evening, it's already at your doorstep. So now it's creating that culture of wanting things now and making it possible to get it now. But there are many spheres in life where that does not apply, and it can never work. So when it even comes now to actually acquiring knowledge, becoming someone that is knowledgeable, you can't acquire knowledge in 1 minute.
Exactly.
Just after 1 hour. It actually needs you to sit down and decide that I'm actually going to engage myself in a constant process of learning.
I love that.
So now, if ever we are in this society whereby everything is becoming instant, then we are going to find ourselves in a predicament whereby we don't understand why we make the decisions that we make, why we are lagging behind in certain things, why we don't understand the world the way that it is.
And bro, just to allude to that, more than that, I think primarily our general well-being, is at stake.
Elaborate.
Okay, so basically, my well-being is my state of sanity as a person. Me being sane, me being intact, me being fulfilled, me being content. So whenever my contentment and fulfillment as a person is at stake, then that means that my general well-being, is at stake. So now the reason why, now we're not saying that big companies are wrong. We're not saying that Coca-Cola is wrong for probably enticing whatever company is big, to enticing people to buy their cool drink. But what I'm saying is that, right, whatever enticing that they're doing that's making people impulsively act on that, it's creating a culture and condition in our mindset that just wants, to take the easy way out. For example, bro, when I'm stressed, I'd rather opt to buy a lot of junk food so that I can feel better. So you'll find that now those are the implications that I'm really concerned about.
And there's something that you said about how there's a culture that is being created of never being content. And really, I do understand it, because you wake up today and there's something new.
That's true.
Tomorrow there's something new.
That's true.
And we are living in a time whereby we always wanted the latest of this, the latest iPhone. We want the latest, to drive the latest car, to have the biggest house. So we are never content with what we have. So we end up becoming people who are, they call it a rat race. So we become like going round and round and round, pursuing something that we will never ever get, because tomorrow there's going to be a better iPhone, there's going to be a better car, there's going to be a bigger house in a better estate, and so forth. So and it's, as you have said, it's really detrimental to our sanity.
That's true.
And there's something that really it concerns me, because it's also detrimental to our morality, our moral fiber. Because see, what is happening is that as we are constantly chasing after these things, we become less concerned about each other as people, and we consider each other as means to an end. Because what becomes more important is getting what I want.
That's true.
The latest the latest that.
Powerful.
So no more morality. So I think that's even the reason why we see that there's a total degrading of morality and ethics in our society, in business. So you find that there are things that happen in big companies that when you would hear the stories, you would like, I don't understand why is it like this, because they're making enough money, the CEOs are making enough money, but for them it's never enough,
it's never,
because they want the next big thing. And that culture that they have, it's trickling down now to us, and now it's making us now to live a terrible lifestyle. How? Because now we as young people are living in a, because remember the topic that we have is, what time is it? We're living in a time of social media. So we are having social media whereby we live happy lives, but we are actually sad.
Okay, can you repeat that statement, man?
Someone once said that we are sad people with happy pictures.
Love that.
And that's the reality of us as young people in this generation, because you find us on social media and we post these happy pictures, but in reality, things are not going the same way that they are. And the thing is that we are so afraid of being alone by ourselves, because there is this need for validation that we want from other people, because we as well want to be big as the other people who are big, like the celebrities that are big and so forth. And so this is really breaking down the society.
You know, bro, one thing that we need to understand is that we are human beings, and there is a certain way of functioning, you know, that we do or we function by as human beings. So you'll find that what you have spoken about of the degrading of moral fiber within us as young people, you know, having trickled down from the top, you know, is caused by also, you know, the dopamine that gets released from our brains. So dopamine is basically a chemical messenger, you know, that regulates our bodily functions. So you'll find that dopamine, it stimulates our impulsive behaviors. So, for example, you mentioned social media. That feeling I get when 100 people have liked my status, that dopamine is being released. You know, so dopamine is supposed to be balanced in our bodies, whereby whenever we feel that we've got an achievement, you know, then we know
it's being released in that moment.
Released. You know, I've got an example for you. For example, you take graduates, you know, people who just graduated or people who graduate. Imagine if we didn't have graduation ceremonies. Imagine if you just got sent a PDF.
It would be terrible.
It would be terrible. You know, we all want that feeling of wearing that gown and just being in front of people and,
you know, being celebrated.
So at that day of graduation, that feeling we get, that everyone just being proud around us, and us also just feeling like we
being the center of attention, you know, you having your family celebrating you.
You know? So dopamine is really released. Now it's an addictive chemical that gets released in our body. So these companies have found that out. You know, that's why whenever I'm going onto the internet, there are cookies. You know, accept this cookie, accept this.
And almost every website has that.
You know, a lot of people have even said, Guti, I'll search something on Google, right, and then it pops up on Facebook as an advertisement. I'll go to Instagram, it's there as well. So you'll find that now what is happening is that a generation of consumerism is being birthed. Where we are just buying off our impulses. I'm feeling happy, I must buy. I'm feeling sad, I must buy.
You know, bro, there's something that you've said about dopamine. And here's the thing. What these companies have done. And this applies to all these social media platforms, because they are basically exploiting this hormone, this dopamine chemical that is released within us. Because you see, it is supposed to be released on a good cause. Like you have made an example of a graduation. So then you would know, I'm striving towards this. And you know the feeling that you are going to get when you actually get to a graduation. So now what these companies, I can say they've totally stripped that those great moments in life, of their true value, because
true.
the same feeling that you would get in a graduation is the same feeling that you can get by trending on social media,
bro. And to speak to that, the worst part is this. I just realized something. You know, bro, when you tell a lot of people, you know, Uguti, next week I've applied for something, right?
Yeah.
And you say, guys, I've applied for this. Here's this opportunity, you know, and I'm just waiting for their response, right, bro? When you don't get accepted there, right, you get more disappointed then you would get disappointed at the rejection if you're facing it alone. Because right now you are facing this rejection with the whole bonga band that you've told.
Exactly.
And I just want to come to something, right? With what you were speaking about. Why did I think of that? What's happening on social media is that we are thinking that we've achieved these things. Now, listen. Dopamine is supposed to be there, as you've said, as to lead us to a process of achieving something.
Yeah.
But now when I get dopamine for posting on Facebook that this is what I'm currently doing right now, and dopamine gets released by people saying,
liking,
well done, this is so great, before I get the award, China, I won't even put in the hard work to get where I was supposed to be. Because in my mind,
terrible.
I will think
I've already gotten it. And I think it also contributes even to the high levels. It's been said multiple times that the levels of suicide are increasing amongst young people because the pressure that comes with social media, it's too much. It's too much. And Simon Sinek once said something that it's funny how we don't regulate social media usage and access to kids, but we do regulate them going to drink alcohol, going to smoke drugs, because the same addiction the same substances like nicotine and also when you drink alcohol and so they release the same chemicals in your body. They release dopamine, they release serotonin. So those chemicals are the same ones that are being released into our systems when we actually use social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, name them all. So now it's funny how we don't regulate them, but now we regulate the others. And so it brings me to this of this question of that we started with. What time is it? Ogoti, how many of us as young people are we aware of this? And when we actually go into these spaces of social media, we actually go there intentional, knowing very well Ogoti, there are these conditions at play when I come into the space, because sometimes there was a video that surfaced a couple of weeks ago of a young boy. In fact, I think two instances, two young boys in primary school, very young, who were fighting with the teachers just to get back their phones. And mind you, in schools, it's prohibited for kids to bring their phones and use them. But they were fighting, like literally ready, and the other one was ready to even hang himself with a belt, his own belt around his neck, ready to hang himself just for what? A phone. And the society does not understand what is going on in the mind of that young boy. They can even say that, no, he's addicted to nyaope, to drugs. But no, the problem is not that. He's addicted to something else. The cell phone, the social media platforms, because there is a chemical that is being released into his body, and now it has become an addiction.
To them. So you'll find that now, instead of people being high on drugs or being drunk on alcohol, they are high on social media.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.